Hello, my name is Ben Bailey. I am one of the personal trainers here at Jada Blitz. We are going to walk you through a little workout here. All the equipment you're going to need is perhaps a few yoga blocks, a resistance band, a mini band, and a few kettlebells of your choosing. So start with a warm-up, very simple. Grab your band, grab one layer of the band, break it across your chest. You're going to do 12 to 15 reps. Again, thinking about squeezing your shoulder blades together behind you. You don't want to go way back like this, just good squeeze. Feel it in your upper back and shoulders. Trying to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. After that, find your mini band. You're going to lie down on your side. These are called clamshells. So we're here, starting on your side, heels touching together, and you want to try and squeeze your butt such that you are opening this band up, feeling a good squeeze on the outside of your hip, back down. Here we're going to do 10 good reps on each leg, and then we'll switch sides. Again, a little warm up, just getting your upper back and your glutes warmed up, engaged, primed for exercise. We will rest between our other movements, but for the warm up, again, this shouldn't be too physically demanding, just trying to get some blood flow to some of the bigger muscle groups in our back, shoulders, lower body before we do everything else. So again, here making sure we're grabbing right around outside shoulder width. If you come too close, it's going to be a little too challenging. Too far, you're not going to get the tension you want. Again, try and think about squeezing your hip instead of driving from the knee. Holding it for 1 second, nice and controlled on the way down. Again, your top leg is the one you should be feeling. We'll go through that one more time. And by this point, if you want to sneak your hands in a little bit closer, you can kind of dictate the degree of challenge this is going to be. Still one layer of the band, ripping right across your chest. One more on the other side. jump up, get that mini band out of the way. We're going to be done with that. And the first thing we're going to be doing is called a shin box lift. So, most basic, we can do that, no weight. Just gonna line up so that your one foot is touching the front of your leg, sitting up nice and tall, and we're going to press the front part of our foot through the floor to get yourself up here. Shoot your hips through, you should feel a good squeeze in your butt. Control yourself nice and slow back down. You're gonna do 8 on each side. Again, keeping the pressure driving through this front leg. This trail leg's just coming along for the ride. Beautiful. Switch legs. And sitting up nice and tall. We don't want to be slouched. Good posture, head and chest up. Driving that front leg through the floor, nice and slow on the way down, really trying to feel into that outside of your glute that you just got warmed up with the clamshells. And we'll take a minute, 30 seconds to a minute. Give yourself a brief rest. Again, you should be able to try and feel into this on the outside of your hip and your glute. Clamshells are a great way to get yourself warmed up for that. If that was too easy, grab yourself a kettlebell. If that was moderately challenging to too challenging, you can take a yoga block, stick it under your butt like this so you're slightly elevated, and then you're doing that same thing, just kind of pressing this front leg through the ground, squeezing into this outside glute, control back down nice and slow. With the kettlebell, it will look like this. Gonna be here. So I would hold the kettlebell on the side opposite of the working leg. Sitting up nice and tall, pressing that leg through the ground, coming up, squeezing your hip. Side that will look like this. Okay, try to drive those hips forward. Squeeze your butt. Great. Take a minute. This is another kind of warm-up-ish movement. Trying to tune into some of these muscles on the outside of your butt, your hip, getting all that woken up before we move into some squats. Take another 30 seconds. Try to think about breathing into your belly, not puffing and puffing into your chest. Maybe grab a drink of water. We will do that one more time. Again, with the regression, it will look like this. Come back down. Again, that leg that's working, just kind of flop that yoga block right under your butt. Sitting up nice and tall. Pressing up. Good squeeze, nice and slow on the way down. Let's do 4 more here. Good, switch sides. Great. Take 30 seconds to a minute. Find your kettlebell, and we will do some squats. So, to do that, get yourself set up like this. Kettlebell is right beneath you. We want to reach down. Grab the kettlebell by its horns like this. Try to anchor your feet into the floor. Take a big breath in. Come down, head up. Push the ground away, come right back up. We're going to do 10 good reps. Take a minute. You should primarily feel that, if you're doing it correctly, in your butt, your hamstrings, front of your legs, and a little bit of core. And depending on how heavy the kettlebell you selected was, definitely going to feel that in your arms, your upper body, having to keep yourself upright this way. Take 30 seconds, and we will do that again. This is a great movement to train a bunch of big muscle groups. You're using your feet, your legs, your core, your upper body. Everything's working. You're gonna do that again. Reach back down, grab your kettlebell. This is what it'll look like from the side. Big breath in, try to tighten up your core. It's 2. Great. Take another 30 seconds to a minute. If it's too challenging with the weight, just do body weight. And really try and focus on controlling yourself down, not just flying down, and then pushing the floor away with your feet, coming right back up. If you find that you are wobbling, or your big toes or your heels are moving off of the floor, try and think about pressing all of those points of your feet down, your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel. You can think about your foot as like a tripod that you're trying to anchor into the floor and not let wobble around. Let's do that one more time. Here. Get yourself set, right? Tripod feet. Big breath in, core is nice and tight. Perfect. Take a minute and we will move into our next exercise, which will be the kettlebell single arm row. So for your single arm row, if you have 2 kettlebells, that's great. I would switch to a lighter one than we just used for the squat. You're not going to be able to row as much as you squat for the most part. So we want to be here. The arm that's working, the same side leg, we're going to push back here. We're going to be up on our big toe. Little bend in this front leg. You're going to drop down, kind of drop your elbow on this leg. Engage your core, tighten up this back glute. And we're going to try to drive your elbow back towards your hip, squeezing your shoulder blade down and back. Nice and controlled. Head and chest up. I'm going to do 10 on each side. Take a few deep breaths, we'll switch to the other side. This is what it'll look like on the other side. Take 30 seconds. If this is really challenging and you can't seem to find a balance here, stand right here and do 10 rows like this with your feet next to each other and just kind of bent over this way. That would look like this. If you can successfully do what we just did, keep doing that. If you don't have any kettlebells, you're probably watching the wrong workout. I would find a different workout. So again, we're here. Back leg's back. Lean it over this front leg. Prop yourself up with your forearm. Squeeze this back glute. Everything's nice and tight. Squeezing your back. Trying to drive that kettlebell up towards your belly button. Great, switch. Three more. Take another 30 seconds to a minute. You should be feeling this in your upper back, around your shoulder blade, perhaps some of your biceps, a little bit of forearm if you're doing a good job gripping the kettlebell. Everything's great. Ten more reps on each arm. Grab your kettlebell. Nice tight squeeze. Lean it over that front leg. Again, we want to create some tension in your core. We don't want to be loosey-goosey. Here, head and chest up. One more. Good. Good. Kettlebell single arm row, completed. Take a minute. Next thing we will do is a split squat. If you've never done a split squat before, it's a squat with one leg, and your back leg will be supporting via your big toe. So you're going to be up on your back big toe. You want 85–90% of your weight over this front leg. And you're going to drop straight down, push the floor away, come back up. So we don't want to see this, where you're coming forward and then back. That's going to put some weird, funky stress on your knee. You want to think about starting at the outset with a little bit of a lean over this front leg, keeping your head in the same linear path where you're dropping down, coming right back up. So I'm down. I got two 90-ish about angles for my legs, pushing the floor away, coming right back up. So for everybody, we're going to start with, before we even grab any weight, just one set body weight. We're going to do 8 reps on each leg. So you're here, head and chest up, lean over this front leg, up on your back big toe, straight down, boom. Good, we'll switch legs. And again, really trying to control it on the way down. We don't want to just drop down. Control yourself into the floor, push the ground away. Great. Take 30 seconds. If that was radically easy with just the body weight, what you're going to do is you're going to find your kettlebell. You're going to hold it in the arm opposite the leg that's working. If that was pretty challenging, just body weight, maybe grab a lighter weight, but I would recommend just keeping it body weight and really trying to control yourself toward the ground and push the ground away nice and controlled, focusing on your balance. So again, we're here. Gonna go right back into 8 good reps on each leg. Up, head and chest up. Lean over this front leg. Control down, push the floor away. Great. A few deep breaths, a few seconds between legs. That back leg, whether you know it or not, is going to be doing a significant amount of work. So if we switch legs too quickly, you're going to be pretty fatigued. So take a few deep breaths, maybe a drink of water before you go to that other leg. Again, we want both those hips point forward, head and chest up, straight down, right back up. Great. Take a minute. We're going to do 8 more reps on each leg. And again, when you get yourself set up, we want to be really conscientious of our foot position. We don't want to be lined up like this where both of our legs are in the same line. That's going to feel real funky and do some weird stuff to our hips. So you just stand in shoulder width, your hips and your feet. You want to keep your legs in that same path. So I'm just going to step back, and my hips and my feet are parallel with each other. And I'm dropping down. I'm in this nice, natural, comfortable position. So grab your weight, or don't grab your weight. 8 more reps on each leg. And you're here. Planting that big toe into the ground again. We don't want any loose feet. Think of your foot as that tripod where you got your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel, all pressing into the floor. Lean over that front leg, straight down, right back up. Switch legs. But listen to what I just said 2 minutes ago and take a few deep breaths before. I hope your workout is going great so far. If it's not, I do apologize. Here we go. 8 more reps. Awesome. Let's take a minute before we move into our next exercise, which will be a glute bridge, chest press kind of hybrid thing. So if you have a mat, great. If you don't, just find a surface that isn't like hardwood or going to be really uncomfortable on your shoulder blades. But what we want to do here is I'm going to demonstrate without the weight. Don't start just yet. Just kind of watch the demonstration here. Get yourself set up. You're going to have a kettlebell in your hand, or no weight, but you're going to be here, and we want to just push the ground away with your feet, squeeze your butt. And again, try not to overextend at the back. Just a little chin tuck can help with that. Chin tuck just a bit. Just driving your heels into the floor, squeezing your butt. So that's our glute bridge. We bring our press into that, it will look like this. Find your kettlebell, or whatever weight you do have access to. You're going to be here. You're going to push the ground away. You got your glute bridge, your butt squeezed, your hips are pointing toward the ceiling. Coming down, that one weight, pushing up. Again, we want to do 10 on each side. So that's 10. Take a second, reset. And we're going to do the same thing on the other arm. Here. Again, don't let your hips want to sink down. Keep pressure driving through your heels. Punching up, squeeze your chest. 10 reps each arm. Take a minute. Again, what we're doing here, we're using a lot of big muscle groups. You got our feet pressing into the floor. You're going to use all your hips, your low back. You're going to have some core engaged. And then again, you're using your pushing muscles in your chest and your shoulders to move that kettlebell from the floor up toward the ceiling. If you can't do this, and you can do a regular push-up or an elevated push-up off of something like this, find something like that so you're still able to kind of train these shoulder, chesty muscles that we're trying to get at here. So get yourself set up. We're going to do our next set. Grab your kettlebell. Start with it up like this. Feet drive it into the floor. Butt squeezed, hips to the ceiling. And again, control that kettlebell down. Once you feel your elbow hit the ground, punch it back up. Again, this one kettlebell wants to bring you over to this side. You got to use your core muscles to keep yourself up. Switch arms. Take a minute. We're going to do that one more time on each arm. The next exercise, just to get yourself mentally prepared, will be a unilateral march and a kettlebell bicep curl. Let's take another 30. We'll do one more set with the glute bridge chest press. If you don't have access to an incline push-up type thing, just do some glute bridges and hold them for 30 seconds while you're doing the chest press. And feet through the floor, butt squeeze, hips are up, down, punch. Great work. We have one exercise left, and that is the unilateral march and kettlebell bicep curl. So find your kettlebell. For the march, we will stand like this. You will have kettlebell off to one side of your body. Again, this weight is going to want to pull you here. You got to use all this stuff to keep yourself upright. You're going to stand nice and tall. Squeeze this off again. Hold it a little bit away from your body, and you're going to march in place. Trying to keep some stability here. The last thing we're going to do is a unilateral kettlebell march. We're going to do 2 sets with the kettlebell march and with a bicep curl. So to start, find your kettlebell. Again, you don't need a lot of weight for this, so I would grab your lighter kettlebell if you have one. If you don't have one, find something that is moderately heavy that you can hold out to the side like this. You're going to stand up nice and tall, keep your core engaged, and we're going to do 5 marches on each leg. So you're here, that's 1 rep. Great, we'll switch arms. Again, this weight wants to pull you this way. You got to use your core muscles to keep yourself upright, head and chest up. Nice tight squeeze on that kettlebell, 5 good marches. Grab that same kettlebell or a different one, or if you don't have a kettlebell that you can bicep curl, grab a resistance band. You're here, you got the kettlebell, elbows glued to your sides, coming down, curl up towards your face, try to squeeze your biceps. You're going to do 10 reps here. Take 30 seconds. We will go through that whole rotation one more time. And if you don't have the kettlebell that you can curl, don't kill yourself trying to curl it up. Find a resistance band that you use for the warm-up. Step on it, grab it like so, and just squeeze your biceps up. Super easy. Here you go. March. Kettlebell. Up nice and tall, core is tight. 5 steps on each leg. Brief pause at the top. Switch arms. Great. Bicep curl. Last 10 reps. Here. Come up, squeeze your bicep. 2. 3 more. Great. And for your cool down, go outside, take a 10-minute walk. Hopefully the sun's out. If it's not, which probably won't be, just imagine that it's out there. Thanks for working out with me. Appreciate it.